Hello, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending on where you've joined us from this day. Today, 31st of January 2022. So I want to welcome everybody on board, even anyone that will still be watching this broadcast, this webinar after. And I want to welcome everybody. I want to thank you for always keeping time with us. We do not take your time, energy, and resources for granted. And at the same time, the fact that you make use of the nuggets, the wisdom that we share here, we do not take such opportunity for granted. So we want to thank you for always finding everything we do here useful to better the way you raise your children, the way you raise your family, the way you relate with your family, and the way you develop yourself. Because we still talk about personal development here. So this month, okay, today is January 31st, right? But all through the Mondays in February, we are going to be talking about what I am unveiling today. It's about Generation Z. It's about our teenagers. You know, when you look at what is happening in Nigeria of today, you wonder why are this happening? Not many of us, were taken, by surprise. Not many of us, because we always, see the handwritten on the wall. Just like Professor Wole Soyinka said some time ago, that was 1993. He said when General Babangida cancelled the June 12th election, Professor Soyinka said he could smell the sperm before the rape of the nation took place. He said he could smell the sperm before the rape of the nation took place. So somebody like me also and some other people in this field could actually smell the sperm before the rape of the future of our children's education, right, was raped. We could smell it. How did this happen? Because in so much we do not or did not have a centralized vision for our children, centralized education vision along the line of education. We don't have it. We don't have it. So that's why you see our children going through all this, the way of vices, because they just go to school. And that's why I put it up the other time, a few hours ago on my social media handles, that free education at all levels without a cogent, homegrown vision for Nigerian students, Nigerian children, we are going nowhere. We're going nowhere. So we shouldn't be surprised that this thing is happening. We shouldn't be surprised. What we should really pay attention to do is how we're going to mitigate the effect on the incoming generation. So that is what I want us to do. And that is, and I've sent a message that people should send us questions that we want to address. Any question, around our teenagers, questions around the Generation Z, because I believe that the generation that we don't know is going to be difficult for us to raise them. Whether you're in Nigeria, whether you're in the US, you are any part of Europe, you are in North America, anywhere you are, a generation that you do not know is going to be difficult for you to raise that generation. So the first thing we must do is to unearth this generation, is to refine them, is to filter them. And that's why I've titled this series Generation Z Unrefined. Generation Z Unrefined, because these guys came to this world raw. They came raw. They don't know anything at all from left or right in a way. So they are left to behave anyhow. And that is what happened 30 years ago. No government, nobody prepared for this generation. We were caught unaware. Nobody prepared for Generation Z. Nobody prepared for them. No, everybody just felt that they were part of a generation, they were part of industrial generation, or they were part of which generation after industrial generation now? Millennials. They were part of millennials, but nobody foresaw that there will be a day, there will be a time that human connection will almost be totally reduced drastically. Nobody ever thought of that somebody, a child could wake up in the morning and just get stuck to his or her phone and is interfacing with the world He wasn't talking with the family. He wasn't talking with the parent. He wasn't talking with the siblings. Nobody ever foresaw that. Nobody saw that. And that is where our problem started. That is where our problem started. So we were not prepared for this generation. We were caught unaware. So what do we need to do? We need to reduce the effect in their future, and at the same time reduce the effect on the generation Alpha that is coming behind them. The generation Alpha that is coming behind them. So that is what we need to do. So a question quickly, a question was sent to my DM, and that question is, how do I guide my teenage daughters? When I called the woman had 2 teenage daughters, and they were 18, they are 18, 17, and the last born, who is a boy, is 12, right? So she was of the opinion that in spite of the challenges, the thuggery, ritualism that is around the corner, that how do I guide my daughters right in the choice of their boyfriend? And I believe the person, I explained some few things to the woman. I still told the woman that she can still join us in this meeting. She permitted me to pose the question here, and I'm sure she's watching us right now. So before I move into that, before I go into answer the question properly or directly, I need to prepare the ground, so that I want every parent to pay attention to this. So in everything any parent or anybody wants to do at all, 2 things are needed. Whether you want to build a house, whether you want to set up a business, whether you want to set up, you want to start a project, anything that you want to do, 2 things are needed. What are those things? Number 1 thing that is needed, one of them is vision. One of them is vision. The second one is skill. You need vision and skill, anything that you want to achieve in life. So as a parent, the day you are initiated to become one, from the day you are initiated to become one, even though it's possible that you have this before now, before you were initiated to be parent, but the very first day you are initiated to be parent, you must have these 2 tools, vision and skills. What will this do? Vision will make you to see the future. This is what I want to do. This is where I'm going. The children I'm bringing to this world, this is how I want to handle them. This is how I want to handle them. The children I'm bringing to this world, these are the challenges of the society I would like them to solve. It's possible that I lay down maybe 5 or 6 challenges of the society, in economy, in media and entertainment, in religion, in banking and finance, in legal system, in farming, all those things. Then they will now align with any of their choice, right? In all those challenges of the society that were laid down. That is what is called vision. Then tools. The second tool, and that one is skill. How are you going to deploy this vision? How are you going to raise these children to believe in that vision? Don't forget, anything you want to do in life, you need vision and you need skill to do it. What that will deliver to you again, number 1, it will give you expectation of what you are expecting. What is the future saying concerning that vision that you have? So when you have the expectation, the next thing you do is to prepare. You prepare to achieve what you are expecting. Then after that, you now apply how you have prepared. You apply what you have prepared. You apply the tools that you have. You apply every knowledge that you have gotten so far. You now apply them. So when you apply them, you now get desired outcomes. That's why I've written here, vision and skill will give you expectations, preparation, and application to determine your outcome. But guess what? What are we doing in Nigeria? We don't have any vision for any aspect of governance. No vision, I know for sure. No vision in education. We don't know the future of our children. We don't even know where they are going. We don't know the direction of the government. So if we know the direction of the government in line with the global economy, then government will now enshrine in the vision the curriculum, homegrown homegrown curriculum that will suit that budget, that target. Where are we going in the next 20 years? By 2032, by 2040, what is the future of Nigerian child in terms of education? Nobody knows. So everybody is just trying to do what it feels like. And that's why parents have taken charge. That they want to know, they want to script the future for their children. Right? So, now going to the question of the woman now. The question is, in spite of the challenges that our teenagers are facing, how do I guide my daughters in the choice of their of their boyfriend? Now, the simple way to answer the question is this. The first thing, the woman is watching, I believe, and anyone else that will need this, the first thing any parent must do is to script a model for the children, whether they are girls or boys. What type or what kind of lifestyle do you hope for your children? What type of lifestyle do you hope for them? How do you want to, what kind of lifestyle, how do you want them to live? How do you want them to carry themselves? And that lifestyle must first of all have been seen in you, the father and the mother. So the first thing is model the right lifestyle for your children from age 1. Even from age 0, when they were in the womb, what kind of lifestyle do you want for them? That is number 1. If you are to guide them in the choice of their boyfriend, model a lifestyle that you hope for them, and that lifestyle must be first of all seen in you the father and the mother. The second one, right, is vision. What vision do you have for the family? Vice versa, the children. The vision you have for the family will reflect in the life of the children, like I explained earlier on. Every family must have a vision. Where there is no vision, people perish. The vision we are talking about here is not all those ones that you receive from the church. Oh, yeah, I saw this thing is going to happen. That is not the vision. The vision is, homegrown vision is, you sit down, what is it? What problem does this family want to solve? In this country, Nigeria, I'm using Nigeria as a typical example. Now, we are here in Nigeria, even though some people joined us from every other part of the world. So wherever you have joined us from, you want to know what type of problem do you want to solve? When you create your vision is aligned with that problem. It must solve a problem. Any vision that does not solve a problem is not a vision. It's just your personal opinion. You want to be rich. You want your children to become doctors, to become lawyers. So what? After that, what happens? So your vision must be tailor-made towards solving a particular problem. So what hope have we given them? So what hope have we given our children according to the line of our vision? What future have we pictured for them? Have we ever pictured any bigger future for them? So any future you have not pictured for our children is going to be pretty difficult for them to see that future. And that's why you see them, they just follow any girl they like, they follow any boy they like. Because of what? Because there is no future in the home. The home is not giving them any future. So the future the boyfriend is giving them outside, that is what they can see. So it's possible the boyfriend is just giving them a fake future. How does a fake future how does it take place? How does it happen? It happens from the point when they begin to give them, when they begin to present to them fake life, when they begin to present to them fake life, fake and luxury. So the daughters are likely to feel, wow, look at what this guy is giving me. And my parents at home are not as rich as this. So they are likely going to follow Even though parents don't have those things yet, but if the future have already been pictured for them in line with the vision that this is what we want to do in the next 10 years, in the next 15 years, and this is how I want you. By the time you leave university, in the next 5 years when you leave, this is the future, this is where you are going. So those things are lacking. Children, daughters are likely going to fall into wrong hands. Don't forget, the first one is modeling. You have to model the lifestyle you want, you hope for the children. Then the second one is vision, right? Then the third one, which is analytical thinking. Analytical thinking. So our children, our daughters must be raised in a way to think critically and weigh every value and weigh everything around them against the value of truth, against the value of logic, and against the value of wisdom. Let me say that again. We must be able to raise them with critical thinking. Let me say this. No parent has any right to choose the boyfriend or the husband for their daughter. The same way no parent has every right to choose the wife for their sons. Right? No one. But the way you can do this is this. What we're doing is bypassing the subconscious mind of our children, the resistance, by bypassing their resistance mind. Because when you tell them that you can't marry so person, they are angry. They think that you don't want them, they like the person and you don't want them, you don't just want the person. You are not going to say that. But how do you now guide them? This is what you do. Modeling, visioning, the analytical thinking. When you teach them, you raise them up in analytical thinking. You have taught them, you've brought them up to weigh every opinion around them against the value of truth. Whatever anybody is telling them, is it the truth against the value of logic? Is it logical at all? Then the last one, against the value of wisdom. What wisdom is in it for me? If I follow this guy, what wisdom? But guess what? You are not going to be telling them that you want to, before, if any boy approaches you, the next thing you begin to do is analytical thinking. You begin to weigh the wisdom. That is not what I'm saying. No. But before the time they begin to say, I want to follow this person or not, they will have grown up with this. So this is not useful against the boyfriend, you know. It's useful even against the personal friends. It could be male to male, it could be female to male, it could be any uncle, it could be any auntie, it could be anybody around them. Analytical thinking will help them to think constructively and weigh everything they see around them against the value of logic, against the value of truth, and against the value of wisdom. This is done sometimes by conversations after every major news. When we sit at home, when some things happen, maybe we watch Newsline together, or we read newspaper together, or we read books together, or we just read something together. So we are on a table, then we begin to ask questions. What do you see to this? How is this happening? What is going to happen next? So from there, you are teaching them analytical reasoning. So when anybody approaches them, before they come to tell you, they will have finished everything. They will have brought the guy down. No. This is not my stuff. No, don't worry. Because they've been raised in that consciousness of analytical thinking. Then the third one, which is right perspective. Right perspective, I wrote here, is a framework that helps them in right decision. Right perspective is a worldview that helps them see a bigger picture in anything around them. Right perspective is just like a worldview. And a worldview is that frame of mind that will help them see the bigger picture in anything they see around them. If a guy is flaunting wealth around them, if a lady is flaunting affluence around our boys, the next thing for them to do is to put those things into perspectives. When you put them in perspectives, you are weighing them against some decisions that may come in. You are weighing them against worldview. Can this thing last? Can it last? What future is presently in this thing now? What future is there? If this thing is no longer there, who is this guy? If the parents are no longer there, who is this guy? Our daughters have the capacity to know all this. Our boys have the capacity to know all this. The next thing, the only thing we need to do is to have raised them along the line of modeling, visioning, analytical thinking, and right perspective. We don't just jump into, or rather, we don't do fire brigade approach when they now begin to ask us, hey, I want to do this. There's something I want to do now. I'm going with this boy. If you shout at them, they will agree. Okay, mommy, there's no point. I've left the guy has gone. Hello, are you following them to school? They only tell you so that you won't harass them, so that you won't fight them, and so that you won't beat them. But are you following them to school? Without this empowerment, it's going to be difficult for them to agree to what we do. Fine, parents may have a say in who they want to marry, but there is a limit to that say. If you want to have a say, begin to influence their decision now through these points. Then the last one, offer them interesting and compelling stories. Offer our daughters, offer our boys interesting and compelling stories. What are those things that we think we are offering them? Or rather, that any boy outside is offering them that we can't offer? Guess what? It is not about money. It is not about money. It's not because those guys are flaunting wealth before them. It's because the number one, money is there, but money is not the first thing. The first thing that they use, the first tool they use to draw our daughters, to draw our boys away from us, to cleave onto them, number one thing is interesting and compelling stories. How do I define interesting and compelling stories? What are those things beyond the normal thing that the parents are giving them, are doing? Can our children experience another great effort towards solving the problem of humanity from us, apart from the fact that we woke up in the morning, 9 a.m., and we come back 5 p.m., we pay their school fees, we anything. What other special projects are parents doing that these children are part of them? What other projects? When these children are not doing anything on Saturdays or Sunday or even in the afternoon, in the evening, what do they see us do? Do they see us as parents solving any demonstrable human problems? Do they see us inviting them, picking their brain that something is happening around the world now? In one area in Ikeja, in one area in the United States of America, in one area in the United Kingdom, anywhere, something is happening. What do you think we can do? What do you think we can do? Or you just come back and you decided that you've conceived a project. This is a project for our family, and I want us to do it. Have you engaged them in this area? Those things qualify to be interesting and compelling stories because it is way off the usual things they know of daddy, they know of mommy. Daddy can't just be telling them that something happened in our office, and this is how it goes. It is normal. They are used to it. But daddy just sit them up one day, and daddy tells them that, see, what is going to happen is this. There is a project I want this family to embark on. We want to make sure that every child around here is well immunized, and you, my first daughter, this is what you're going to do. You, my second daughter, this is what you're going to do. You, the last born, this is what you're going to do. And the date we're all going out to do this is maybe 3 weeks from that meeting. You sensitize them. They know those things qualify to be interesting and compelling stories. You go out together, you do few things together to help society. So their brains is challenged. They know that everything is not just about money. They see their dad do this, they see their mom do this. So those are the things that will make them in the right choice, because they know that they see the future, they see their future husband in their dad, and they see the future wife in their mom. So they know what they want. It's not just the brigade approach that you are telling them, no, you can't do that in this house. Don't let us forget, the first one is modeling. Model the kind of lifestyle you want for your children. First of all, you model it for yourself. It has to work in you before these children could catch it. The second one is vision. What does your family represent in the scheme of things, of solving any particular problem in the world? What does your family stand for? That vision must be clearly written out. I've said it here before, and I'm going to say it again. It's not those visions that you just go to Google to go and copy. No, it will not work. The vision that is resonated with your soul, with the soul of your family. Every child is a partaker in that visioning. That's number 2. Number 3, analytical thinking. Don't forget, the whole concept of analytical thinking means that our children are equipped to be able to weigh every decision around them, everything they see around them against the value of logic, truth, and wisdom. Then the fourth one, right perspective. Whatever anybody tells them, are they able to see the bigger picture beyond the superficial? Beyond everything that they go to eat outside, what is the bigger picture? Can this thing last? They must be able to do. And the last one, interesting and compelling stories. Now, the question will now be this. Assuming that any of our daughters is already embroiled in a relationship that is not worthy, in a relationship that parents don't like, or they have eloped with a particular guy whose character is not something that the parents can accept. What do I do? Should I be the guy, my daughter off? What do I do? What you need to do is to present interesting and compelling stories for your daughter. It works. Present interesting and compelling stories. How do you go about this? Once that thing happens, once they tell you this is what they're going to do, they are not going to, you have spoken, you can't bring that boy home. That boy does not have the kind of policy, the kind of value we have in this house. No, I will disown you. Hello, you don't disown anybody. Whether you disown that girl or that boy or not, it's been written that that boy or the girl came out of you. So forget about disowning. What you need to do is to seek the opinion, rather, or to seek a counseling session or therapy. Don't wait for counseling. Don't stay on counseling alone. I've seen that when people look for counselors, when they're seeking for counseling, they're just looking for a rubber stamp. Counseling will never help. I am saying this now openly. I'm saying it throughout the world. Everybody is hearing this. Counseling does not help anybody. Counseling, coaching, and therapy, that is what works. And it will not just happen once. So it's a process. You don't just call somebody, and what will I do? That's why I told the woman that, please, it's going to be difficult for me to respond to this. Please join us in this. It's a process. Look at those 4 points. It's not something that just build overnight. It's a process. So when you are in that situation, what do? Present to your daughter interesting and compelling stories. What is it that this guy is giving my daughter outside that I can't give? I've told you, the first thing is not the money. The first thing is not the money. It's not the affluence. The first thing is interesting and compelling stories. It's possible those guests are bored at all. I've said it here before. It's not about staying with our children 24/7. It has to do with a lot of content. What content do we have? If you stay with them 24/7 without right content, they just be looking at you like this. And that's why they say that daddy is boring. My children have told me before, daddy is boring. What is it? What does he have to say? Mommy is boring. Just say it. They don't want you to beat them. They just say, oh, mommy, that's fine. That's nice. So that is exactly what happened. Give them interesting and compelling stories. What is it that they can hold on to? What is it that they can behold that this is what our family stands for? That is what will make your children, your daughters or your boys to choose the right partner for themselves. So I have to stop here. If we have anyone with any question, please post the question and then we'll respond to them on time, because what the service level agreement we have is just 35 minutes, so that people can go back to their various works. Once again, I want to thank everybody who has been part of this show. Time will not permit me. We have quite a number of people watching us here from Instagram and Facebook. But from the bottom of my heart, I thank you. I appreciate everybody. So thank you. Next week, we're still talking about Generation Z. We're still talking about our teenagers. This is a generation that we did not prepare for. We were caught unaware. We were caught unaware. It took critical studies to unravel these guys, and that's why I refer to them as Generation Z unrefined. Generation Z unrefined. They just came, we did not prepare for them. We just thought that we could raise them, we could abuse them, we could beat them, we could discipline them, punish them the way we were punished. We are on a long thing. Like we say here in Nigeria, a generation that you don't know, you can't raise that generation. And they just started. And that generation started 5 years ago. Alpha generation. Those ones, they are worst. They challenge every status quo. They challenge everything. And if you shut them down, they keep quiet. But when they leave you, you will never see them again. That is exactly what happened. So I want to thank everybody once again. By next week, let us meet. I'm still collecting questions, contributions, on this program. So let's see what happens next week. It's possible other questions will come, then we'll treat that question, but I just hope we have more questions to treat. The whole February is for our teenagers. Let us take care of them. Let us take care of them. 20, 30 years ago, our parents did not envisage now. And I always say that we neither parent for today nor yesterday. We parent for the future. We should be prepared to get ourselves well equipped to what is going to happen in 2040. The children coming by then, how are we going to raise them? So thank you, everybody. I appreciate you all.